Happy New Year, YouTube. Happy 2020. 2020. It's not only a new year, it's a new decade, and 2020 represents having good vision. So let's start having some good vision this year and being mindful about the things that we do, especially as far as preparation or handling our business at home. Here where I live, Minnesota, things have, there have been new ordinances that are taking place effective today, which there really wasn't a whole lot of announcement about before, or they talked about it a few years ago, and then all of a sudden they stopped talking about it, and then when I got up this morning, it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, starting today, they are charging a 5-cent fee every time someone uses a bag at any store, any retail store in the Twin Cities area anyway. I know there's some outlying stores and like Target stores not going to be involved in that, but Target will still provide bags, but of course, like I said, they're going to charge that 5-cent fee. And I realize that Aldi's been, charging for people to get the plastic bags or the paper bags, and Aldi's even charges for people to use the shopping cart when they come in the store. But when I got up this morning, there were a lot of people bellyaching about, this is outrageous. Why are they doing this? And then you got the other side of the coin where people saying, because the plastic bags are getting in our oceans, they're getting in our water source, and, that's kind of always been the case. And yes, plastic bags are great for collecting cat and dog poo if you have things like that, because you have to get that stuff up and you don't want the bag to disintegrate in your hands. You want it to last long enough to be tied up and tossed out. There's some stores that will just automatically double bag. Here's a double bag. And people come and say, well, I really didn't want a bag. I just want to put it in my purse or my backpack or whatever. But once it's bagged, they're like, take it. But because this change is happening here, it may be happening in a neighborhood near you. Maybe, maybe not. I realize that California has been kind of ahead of the game. They charge 10 cents per bag. So in other countries, in London and in France, they've been charging for decades. So to say that we're a little bit behind the game here is not a stretch of the imagination. However, I mostly use recyclable bags. I do take the plastic bag sometimes because I do have pet poop that needs to go out, and that's a great way to put out the pet poop. But, I also have recycling. And I used to use the paper bags for the recycling. But now there's a concern that too many trees are being cut down to make the paper bags, and not everybody's using them for recycling. Some people just use them, ball them up, and throw them in the trash, which is not the most helpful for our environment. But I just wanted to give you a few examples today of some things that you could do. Backpack, like I said. A backpack, you can always pop that on your back. Go shopping. A lot of stores will say, excuse me, can you leave your bag up at the front? Check your bag, give you like a clothespin or a card or a ring or something that has the number on it that they also attach to your bag. So while you shop, they're not having to worry about any, 5-finger discounts, shoplifting. So, and then when you get up to the front, you pay for your items, say, I'm just going to put them in my backpack, open up your backpack, put them in, and there you go. You can always get these recyclable shopping bags. They give them out if you go to like National Night Out or block club things or special events at stores. There's oftentimes they will give these things out. They may be smaller, they may be larger. very easy to use to carry your food or whatever items that you shop for, and fold them up, reuse them again when that time comes. There's also coffee bean sacks, which are very much like, this is actually a rice sack, a rice bag from, you know, some basmati rice that I have. It's held like 10 pounds worth. So I kept it because I thought it was a pretty neat bag. It has a handle on it. It's a nice convenient size, so that if I'm just going to pick up a few things at the dollar store or whatever, I can roll this up, put it in my pocket. When I pay for my stuff, pop it in, and I'm all set to go. But the coffee bean sacks are very familiar, very similar in style, kind of like a burlap, but they're much larger. And I do use a coffee bean sack for my recyclables. You know, like if I have cardboard boxes, if I've shopped somewhere where they give the big boxes that the food has come in for free, I can put my food in that box, and when I get home I can break it down, tie it, put it in the cardboard box, in the coffee bean sack, and, you know, advertisements, newspaper, that kind of thing, that can be popped in there as well. And then I take them out to the recycle bin, dump everything into the bin, take my bag, fold it up, bring it back home. Nice and easy. Bag is reusable. It holds a lot. It's very sturdy. It's not going to rip or tear. Not very awkward to handle for me. And the coffee bean sacks you can get free if you just go to coffee shops where they get massive supplies of beans. Usually if you ask if they have an old sack that's empty that they're getting rid of, they'll give it to you for free. Or at least that's been my experience. That's how I've got the ones that I've got. You can use those coffee bean sacks for other things too, which I can describe in another video. You could also have a reusable sack that's just made out of scraps of material. You can zip it together on a sewing machine or by hand, or you can buy them at your local farmers market, places like that. People that have crafting skills, kind of like I do crafting kind of things. I like to sew, I like to create and modify things and fix things. You know, like the inside is red and white, the outside is multiple colors. So if I'm having a cloudy day and I'm, you know, out sharing balloons with kids, I can have my sack full of balloons and my balloon pump, and I can make lots of kids happy, really easy. When the balloons and everything is gone, I can fold this up and I'm ready to roll. One other thing is that I have a bicycle. You know, it's a means of transportation that doesn't cost me any gas except for the energy that it takes for me to go from point A to point B. And I have a basket that I hook to the front of my bicycle. And I can bicycle to a place, have my sack in here. When I get to the place, I push the little button, take this off, and I can shop with my basket in the store. When I go through the checkout, I'm taking my things out of the basket. They ring it up. I put it into the bag, stick the bag in the basket, click it back to the front of my bike, and pedal home. Easy, reusable, not a burden, not in the way. Now, I got that basket. It's a wire basket. They do have, you know, those woven ones that are made out of raw materials, but I wanted something that I was absolutely positive was going to last me. And this is pretty sturdy, and it does hold like a paper bag size full of groceries that, you know, might consider be more heavy. It will fit in that basket. You know, and then some people do the sling bags on the sides of their bikes in the back. Mine is in the front where I can see where it is, have my light on in the front, and I'm ready to roll. But one thing, if you're going to do this recyclable bag, which I do encourage people to do, the recyclable bag, because it is good for the environment, it is good all around. when you use your recyclable bag, be mindful of the fact that you may have foods that may cause some seepage, meats or vegetables or whatever. Sometimes things leak in the bags, so from time to time you do want to make sure that you actually wash your bag and either toss it in the dryer or throw it over your shower curtain rod or hang it up in the bathroom or whatever so it can dry out, so that there is nothing remaining from any seepage of previous food that was in the bag, because you don't want to do anything that might potentially cause some foodborne illnesses from something old seeping into something new, seeping into the products that you have in the bag. So you do want to clean the bag regularly to make sure that's all good. Well, happy New Year. I'm looking forward to the time that we're going to have together, and I just wanted to bring this as a positive thought for the beginning of the new year. Things are changing all around the world, and we have to be ready to roll with the punches. And this is one step that we can take to help us not only in our home situation and in organizing our homes, but also in helping our environment. So, until later, be good to yourself and be good to those around you. Peace.